This is a guided body scan meditation for the Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction Program. Making the time to practice this meditation can be an important way to take care of yourself, to enhance your health and sense of well-being. Through practice, our intention may become flexible, and we can actively cultivate a stance of openness, of welcome, of curiosity towards our own direct experience. In this practice, we will be focusing attention on the sensations arising in the body from moment to moment, bringing a quality of kind welcome to whatever may be present. You are encouraged to be with the body as much as possible, to notice too the activity of the mind as you move along, returning to body awareness when you notice that your attention has wandered. See if it's possible to enter into this practice with a spirit of friendliness toward yourself, simply opening to what's here, willing to see things as they are, letting go of any need to change things, including the desire to achieve any particular state, including relaxation. It's important to find a place and a time to practice when you can be undisturbed, to be protected. Recognizing this as a special time to be with yourself in service of self-care as fully as possible. Choose clothing that is loose and allows for full, unencumbered breathing. While the body scan may be practiced lying down, any posture that's comfortable and supportive for you, encouraging wakefulness, is fine. As you follow along, do your best to remain awake and alert. As we practice, we may discover areas of the body that we wish were different, areas that may hold sensations that are painful or emotions that are challenging. Simply by being aware of all sensation, even those that are unpleasant, we can recognize and acknowledge what's here as it is right now. Whatever's happening now is just happening. We can practice not resisting, rather acknowledging the life that's making itself known moment to moment. Seeing as clearly as possible things just as they are, again, with kindness, with gentleness. This is a rare gift. In time, as we offer this form of attention to our experience, we may discover things shifting and changing through no effort of our own. Whether sensations are unpleasant, pleasant, or neutral, even when there are no sensations detectable at all, it's the quality of the attention, the sincerity that you bring to the practice that's most important. So now, finding a position, establishing a position on a firm bed, sitting in a chair, or lying on the floor. Legs outstretched if you're laying down, uncrossed. Placing the arms along the side of the body. Palms either facing up or facing down. And if it's possible and supportive, allowing the eyes to lower and to close. Now, shifting attention to awareness of the breath, noticing that the body is breathing. The sensations of the breath arriving, and the sensations of the breath leaving. Noticing the flow of the air, perhaps at the tip of the nostrils. Feeling the movement in the abdomen as the diaphragm fills the lungs. Noticing the fullness in the chest and then the gentle release, softening as the body lets go of the breath and exhales. allowing for all of the sensations of the breath as it enters and exits the body. It may be supportive to place the palm of the hand on the belly to increase the awareness of the breath arriving as the belly rises, and the breath leaving as the hand falls. And whenever you happen to notice the mind moving away from awareness of the body, simply gently returning attention to the body. Noticing the breath just as it is in its natural flow, coming close to your own direct experience, moment by moment. Simply being present to what's here. At any moment during this practice, if sensations become too challenging or difficult, including emotions or thoughts, returning to the breath or another anchor that helps establish a sense of groundedness, steadiness, remaining there until you're ready to return to the guidance that's being offered at that moment. In this way, demonstrating wisdom and care in support of what's needed for you. So now if the hand has been on the belly, allowing the hands to turn alongside the body, then moving awareness through the body, down the left leg, all the way to the left foot. Perhaps noticing here the sensation of the heel resting on the floor, including the possibility of hardness, softness. Just noting the contact the heel is making with the floor. And now allowing attention to take in the entire bottom of the left foot, starting with the heel, extending awareness through the sole and the arch, across the ball of the foot, extending to the undersurface of the toes, the whole undersurface of the foot. There may be sensations of contact with a sock, or if the foot is exposed, the temperature of the air, or perhaps sensations of tingling. And now moving attention to the toes, starting with the big toe, the second, the third, the fourth, and the small toe. Allowing attention to take in the space that resides between the toes, and whether there's any sensation of tingling, moisture, perhaps dryness. Then turning to the top surface of the toes, including the joints, as well as the toenails, guiding awareness to the whole top surface of the foot, along the skin, as well as taking in any sensations that may be available within the foot itself. Moving now awareness to the left ankle, taking in its inner surface, its outer surface, the front as well as the back, allowing attention to simply hold in awareness what's present at this moment in this part of the body. And now allowing attention to shift to the left lower leg, the air extending from the left ankle to the left knee, including the calf muscle, the shin bone. If laying down, perhaps a sensation of pressure as the leg rests against the floor or the bed. Noticing sensations along the skin or within the interior. Then shifting awareness now into the left knee, including the kneecap, both sides of the knees, the under soft fold of the knee. It may be aware of inner sensations, tendons and ligaments. Noticing if there's any tightness, soreness. Again, only noticing what's arising in awareness in this moment. Then transitioning, moving awareness into the left thigh, noticing its top, its bottom, resting, being supported. Both sides, the inner as well as the outer. Simply attuning here to what's present. There may be a sense of the thigh's weight. Extending awareness now into the hip socket and how the leg may be positioned relative to the hip joint. Sensations that may be inner, deep, as well as those along the surface of the skin. Perhaps the sensation of clothing touching, making contact. Then widening the lens of awareness from the very top of the left hip, extending down the thigh, knee, lower legs, ankle, foot, and toes. Resting now with awareness of the entire left leg and whatever may be making itself known. As you continue to breathe, and whenever necessary, bringing attention back to the moment-to-moment experience. So now allowing attention to move across the pelvis and then to move down through the right leg, through the thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle. Pausing, centering awareness, centering attention where the right foot is making contact with the floor. Simply registering in awareness the sensation of contact. Exploring now the sole of the right foot, beginning at the heel, this place of contact, through the arch, the ball, noticing the length and the width of the right foot. Perhaps the way in which the foot is being held relative to the leg. Any sensations that may be present, allowing them to simply rest in full awareness. Now bringing attention to the undersurface of the toes, starting with the big toe, the second, third, fourth, and small toe. Any sensations of pins or needles? Coming now to the top of the toes. Again, opening with friendliness, with warmth, with a sense of welcome to what's present. Including now the top of the right foot, from the tips of the toes, the toenails, along the surface, the skin, the inner structures, and then allowing attention to rest with the right ankle. The back of the ankle, its front, the inner surface and outer surface. This flexible joint, simply pausing to note what's present in awareness now. And now allowing awareness to move, leaving the ankle into the lower right leg, the area from the ankle to the knee, noticing its contact with the floor, a sense of pressure, perhaps registering in the calf muscle. Any sensations that may be present along the shin bone. And then allowing moving attention to the right knee. Noticing the kneecap, the sides of the knee, both inner and outer. The soft area behind the right knee. It may register a sense of difference here, comparing the right knee to the left. Any quality that may be either pleasant or unpleasant, maybe simply neutral. And then moving attention into the right thigh, the inner thigh, the outer thigh, the back of the thigh, the top of the thigh. Noticing contact, any sense of weight or pressure. The way the leg is being held by the force of gravity. Perhaps noting inner sensations of bone or muscle. Its dimensionality. Now extending awareness from the right hip socket through the right leg, knee, lower leg, the anchor as well as the foot, all the way to the tip of the toes. Simply resting now with present awareness to the right leg as the body continues to breathe. Now, moving attention from the right leg to the pelvis, to the area of the hips, the front including the soft area of the belly, the sides where the hip joints reside, and then behind, beneath, tuning into the tailbone, the buttocks, a place that may be registering the weight of the body, resting, being held. This area of the body that houses the organs of digestion, reproduction, and elimination. Noticing what may be felt at the surface of the skin, as well as any sensations that are in awareness within the core of the body. There may be sensations of pressure, noticing movement in the soft abdomen with the breath. Simply what's here for you. Should you find sensations are too strong or intense, emotions that may be challenging, again, the possibility of shifting to another anchor, such as the breath or the foot, pausing, steadying, and then returning to where we are in the body scan. In this moment, exploring the sensations in the hips and the pelvis. Now moving to the lower area of the torso, the soft abdomen, the place that holds the organs of digestion, assimilation. On the back body, the area of the lower back, the muscles along the spinal cord. There may be a sense of the back being up off the surface of the floor, the sense of no contact. Noticing here if there are feelings of tension or tightness, or rather of ease, the gentle flow as the body breathes. Feeling the sensation of the diaphragm expanding as the breath comes in and contracting as the breath leaves. In this area, there may be a sensation of hunger, of fullness, and then shifting attention into the upper region of the torso, the area that contains the rib cage, the breasts, the collarbones, noticing the movement of the rib cage as the lungs expand and fall in concert with the breath arriving and departing. Perhaps feeling the ribs moving outward against the arms. And for some here, it may be possible to feel the gentle movement of the heart as it beats within the chest. Perhaps in the armpits themselves, a sense of temperature, moisture, or dryness. Feeling the movement of the collarbones as the breath expands into the upper chest, and the way the collarbones may gently recede with the out-breath. Allowing awareness to register sensations of contact along the back, from the hips as the spinal cord rises up through the torso and connects with the shoulders. Perhaps sensations of pressure across the shoulder blades themselves. Then allowing attention to include all of the torso, from the body's core up through the mid-torso, the top torso, noticing the length, the width, and the depth of the torso. Inner sensations as well as those along the surface. Then escorting attention up into the area of the shoulders, particularly the left shoulder, bringing kind, friendly attention to the front of the shoulder, to its back, along its top. Noticing if any energy, effort is being held here. Any sense of tension or tightness, pressure. Simply noting what is here. Then moving attention into the upper left arm, where it makes contact with the left shoulder socket. Extending awareness down into the elbow, including its soft inner fold, the outer bony part of the elbow. Noticing its angle, its position. Extending attention now into the lower left arm, including the wrist. Any sensations that may register on the surface of the skin, as well as those from within the bone itself. Now turning attention to the left wrist, the undersurface, the upper surface. Perhaps possible to feel the pulse as the blood courses through this area of the body. Then bringing attention to the left hand, including each of the fingers, the fingertips, any sensation of tingling, moisture, the sensation of warmth or coolness. Inviting presence, noting, perhaps recognizing the placement, the position of the fingers, including the thumb, where the palm of the hand is making contact with its support. Perhaps the sensation of clothing. Then extending awareness to include the entire left arm, from the tips of the fingers through the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder socket. Continuing to breathe, holding in awareness what's present just now. Then inviting attention to move across the shoulder area, investigating the right shoulder, its back, its top, as well as the front. Noticing the right shoulder joint, the orientation of the arm relative to the shoulder, including the position of the left upper arm, perhaps sensing it being alongside the body, the angle of the right elbow, noticing the back bony area, the soft inner fold. Allowing attention to move into the right forearm along the surface of the skin, as well as noticing any inner sensations within the forearm itself. Extending awareness to the right wrist, and continuing into the right hand. extending awareness through the right hand into each of the fingers, noticing their placement, opening to the sense of temperature, sensation of warmth or coolness, as the air may glance across the exposed surface of the hand. Noticing the position of the hand relative to the body. Any sensations that can be sensed in the right hand itself. Then extending attention to include the entire right arm, extending from the tips of the fingers, the hand, the wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm. Resting with awareness of the entire right arm as the body continues breathing, simply breathing naturally. Then inviting awareness, attention to move to the area of the neck, this area at the top of the spine, connecting to the base of the skull, the back of the neck where the small vertebrae rest, allowing flexibility and movement as the head turns, providing stability, providing support. Including in awareness the muscles along the side of the neck that stabilize and balance the head, that may hold stress, tension, or pressure. The front surface of the neck, which includes the windpipe and the esophagus, perhaps perceiving air moving as the body continues to breathe. And now bringing awareness to the back of the neck at the base of the skull along the hairline. Moving awareness to the jaw, a place in the head where tension, where pressure may register. Noticing now whether the jaw is being held loosely or tightly. And if there is tension that may not be needed, the possibility of gently releasing, of softening, of letting go. Allowing attention to move along the surface of the jaw, the soft undersurface of the jaw, extending to the tip of the chin, perhaps aware of whether any tension is held in the chin itself. Then moving to the tip of the lips. On the surface of the lips, noticing any sensations of dryness, of moisture. Whether the lips themselves may be sore or cracked. Then inviting attention to move to the inner structures of the mouth. Noticing the placement of the tongue, the teeth, the roof of the mouth, and its floor. Whether there's perception of saliva, of moisture, or dryness. the tongue making available taste, and the throat enabling swallowing to begin digestion. And now inviting attention to move to the lip, the area beneath the nose. And as the air moves into the body and exits the nose, perhaps perceiving that movement, noticing temperature, and whether there may be any sense of ease or congestion, constriction in the inner structures of the nasal passages. Perhaps recognizing the sound of the breath as the air moves through. And then bringing awareness to the cheeks themselves, perhaps the perception of air gently glancing across the surface of the skin. The eyes and the eye sockets, including the outer corner, the inner corner. The way in which the eye is being cradled, is being held, covered by the eyelids, perceiving darkness, sensations of light, shades of gray, or perceiving color. Noticing any moisture or fatigue. Then moving attention to the eyebrows, extending into the surface of the forehead, and across the forehead, extending to the temples. Whether the muscles in this region are holding any tension, a place that may harbor stress. The possibility of releasing, of softening. Including in awareness now the ears, the organs that receive sound, registering sounds in the environment, both external as well as internal. The shape of the ear, including the earlobes, and the back surface of the ear that connects to the head. Extending awareness into the scalp, sensations of the hair, all the way to the tip of the head, the very top. A recognition of the entire head, which holds these sensory organs of taste, sound, sight, including the brain, the seat of awareness, of thinking. And just now an invitation for the brain, for the mind to simply rest. Then extending awareness from the very tip of the head, the entire head, neck, shoulders. Extending this awareness to the tips of the fingers, the top of the chest, the mid-torso, the lower torso, the body's core, the hips, the pelvis, extending into both legs, the thighs, the knees, both lower legs, ankles, the feet, and the toes. Opening the lens of awareness to hold the entire body. Simply resting in awareness, moment by moment, to sensations within the body, to the quality of the present experience, whether that may be pleasant or have an unpleasant quality, perhaps simply neutral. Allowing space for the activity of the mind, connecting with the breath as the breath simply moves in and moves out. Being fully present with the breath and with the body, experiencing its entirety. The breath like a friend, giving life, energy, a sense of vitality and aliveness in this moment, just as you are. And now, as the end of this practice approaches, the possibility for appreciation, having brought kind, warm attention, moment by moment, through your attention to the body. Being with yourself, being embodied, moment to moment, awake, alert to life itself.